in real life. Okay, perfect. So right now where you're going to get is the little link that you can pop up and be part of this amazing little workshop that I'm going to run in today. So today I'm going to be talking of how you can run fun workshops and engage in workshops in FigJam, because as you probably saw before, it's an amazing tool that makes it so easy for everyone. So thank you so much. But before that, you're probably asking, like, who is Lily and why is she here? So I'm Lily. I'm from Bogota, Colombia. I studied journalism and communications in Bogota, and I am the first immigrant from my family. I'm also lead product designer at Nuevo Cargo, that is a supply chains company here in the US, and I'm teaching UX UI, as Miguel was saying, at Memorize, an amazing bootcamp that we have been working so hard to just teach many people about product design and UX. And I'm also the CEO and founder of Solduros, a platform I create to inspire people to create more art. And basically what I do is just interview different artists and illustrators from all around the world to inspire people. So this is who I am, and I'm so happy that you're here. And for the agenda today, I will teach you how to tell a story. You probably know, so you probably are going to be just recapping. I'm going to give you some little tips to run fabulous workshops and how to keep your audience happy. That at the end, that's what matters. And the most important part, I'm going to teach you how to fall in love with Figma, or maybe you're just going to fall in love after this amazing workshop, okay? But before that, I know you're probably just starting your day, or maybe you're in the middle of your work day. The most important part is that we are going to do a little stretch. So wherever you are in the world, just stand up, because that is the way that we're going to do it today, okay? So the first thing that you're going to do is, of course, standing up. And the thing that you're going to do first is just raise your hands all the way up and look up as much as you can, okay? So for the ones who just arrived, we're stretching. Amazing. And then after that, just try to breathe. And what you're going to do now is just go all the way down. Just imagine you're in a yoga class, but in a workshop. You're going to breathe over there. Amazing. And then just go back, but very, very slowly. I hope you all are doing it. I'm doing it now. Okay? Amazing. Now, what you want is you're going to move your shoulders all the way to your back. Okay? And we're just going to rotate them little by little. And then change to the other position. Okay? The other side. Amazing. And now what you're going to do, because our hands are magic and always help us, is we're going to stretch our hands. So what you're going to do is hold your hand with your other arm and then just stretch. And switch if you haven't. Amazing. And do the same with the other hand. And then with the other hand as well. Okay. Last one. You're going to hold this arm and you're going to try to hold your arm to the right side, and then you're going to breathe. Amazing. And then go back to the center and do the same thing to the other one. Amazing. And I always do this one with my students. That is basically, you're just going to check your hands really quickly, because it's super, super important. Amazing. And all this energy is now ready for our workshop. Very good. I hope you stretch and really make use of this little stretch. And I'm seeing you all in here, and I'm so, so, so excited. Okay. So the first question that I want to ask you is, have you ever used FigJam before? So for that, what you're going to do, you're going to click the letter E, and you're going to stamp your photo or your first name in here. So let's say we are, so just hit the letter E. And as you can see in my navigation, you're going to start adding your little icon. So if you have, please mark yes. Okay. Yes, amazing. No? Okay, I've seen some people writing. Perfect. All right, I see some of you already have been using Figma, but it's all good. Okay, amazing. Okay, so if you haven't, this is just going to be a little recap of what FigJam is. And I'm just going to call it super rápido, but it's going to be super fast, okay? So the first thing you are going to do is you're going to spotlight me, because it's very important that when you are in FigJam, you spotlight the people who are talking, so you are not lost in all these files, okay? So the first thing that you're going to do is in this navigation, as you can see in the photo, you can see the person that is talking. And in this case, I'm going to spotlight it, which means you're going to be able to follow the speaker and you're not going to be lost in the middle of the file. Okay? Amazing. All right. I'm just going to do something really, really quick. Perfect. Now, and I'm going to open up again. The first thing you're going to do is also understand that this activity is going to have some timers. So every time I set the timer, you're going to listen to a little noise that is going to sound like this. And then when the timer ends, it's going to make another sound. And this is super important because we will have it through the activities. Okay? Now I'm going to open up again the cursor chat. So just give me a second because this is in real life. Okay, amazing. Let's see. And what you're going to do is tell me, where are you connecting from? Okay, so I'm seeing some people, you're saying hello, Portland. Amazing, I love also the little screenshot, Chicago, okay, New York, Paris, Portland. Oh my God, this is amazing. Okay, love to see everyone connecting from all around the world. San Francisco, muy bien. Amazing. All right. For this part now, if you follow me, 1 second. Okay, I'm losing my file. 1 second. Okay. All right. Okay, 1 second, please. Okay.
Hey, Lily, do you want to go on and restore the file?
Yes, just 1 second.
Yeah, I think if you just click on the title at the top.
Okay.
See the version history and just restore it. So if those of you are wondering what happens if my student, deletes a file while I'm in class, no problem. You can restore it. You can save different versions. So you can reset the file in between sections, and you can also see different version history. So if you just click on the,
amazing.
Yeah,
I got it.
there we go.
Thank you so much.
Class, this is in real life.
Thank you so much. Okay, perfect. So now what we're going to continue doing is trying to understand FigJam, and this is a very interesting experience. So for that, as you can see, you can also click in emojis and stamps. So as we did before, you can click the letter E just to tap any emojis or stamps. And in this case, if you have a stamp, you can do little hearts, you can do stars and more. And for that, you can also do emojis. So if you like any comment that anyone is saying in the class, you can also do it. So I'm starting to see some stamps that you're going to do, and that is amazing. But the most important part of this exercise is that I will love you all to do it together. So for that, if you can just click and grab a little emoji or a stamp here to just see the reaction of this photo will be lovely. Okay, so just take your time to do it. Amazing. So now you know how to react to different comments or different posts and so on. So I'm seeing all of you doing your work. Beautiful. Amazing. This is an amazing tool to have because you can be just participating with your team, and it's incredible. Okay. Another tool that you can see in the navigation bar is the marker tool. And for that, what you do is always click the letter M or Shift AM if you want to make a comment. So for that, let's open up this. What you're going to do for this activity is try to do this little flower, or just write anything, whatever you want. So if you want to do more flowers, I wanted to see everyone's flowers over here. And you can also make it a little bit bigger. It's amazing to see all your work. Beautiful. Incredible. And this is cool because you can also brainstorm with your teams. You can also use the eraser if you don't like anything. So let's say I'm going to erase my little flower because I didn't like it, or I'm going to erase this little part. You can also mark if you think that you want to share this special flower to a team member, you can do it as well. So many things that you can use with the marker. Wow, you all are Picasso. Beautiful. This flower is incredible. Very good. Amazing, everyone. So follow me to the next session of how to use FigJam. So FigJam also has incredible stickers that allow you to just give your point of view. And for that, the only thing that you need to do is basically click the letter S, and you will be able to respond and give your point of view to your team. So for that, let's try. So just hit the letter S, and I already did it here. And I say, I'm so happy that you're here today. So just type anything you want in there and make a comment. Hello, everyone. I'm happy. Thank you. Kittens. Beautiful. And something that I want you to teach you is, as before, we are working in a session, and this is super, super helpful because when you are in class, it's very important that everyone has a little bit of organization, and it's also easy for everyone to understand and read. Okay? Amazing. Okay, and now let's part for this or part of the FigJam that allows you to create user flows, allows you to create multiple activities as well. And for this, the only thing that you do is just go in this part of the panel and you click either O or R to make a rectangle, okay? But for that, let's practice all together, okay? So just do a circle if you want, a rectangle. Amazing. We can see some of this. I'm seeing people having fun, so that is the most important thing. Beautiful. And it's not only circles, it's also squares, it's diamonds, it's everything you can possibly imagine. And this is amazing just to create user flows, whatever you wanted to share with your teams or ideas with your class. All right? Amazing team. So in another part of Figma, the FigJam file, it's very important that you create those sessions, as I was saying before, because it's going to help you have a little bit more of organization in your files. So for that, in this part of the nav, you're going to be able to create different sessions. So what we're going to do here is create a session inside the section. All right, I want to see everyone creating it. Beautiful. Okay, I'm seeing morning here. Okay, and so one of the things that you can do when you are creating a session is also circle on. I love that. You can also change the colors of these sessions as well. So let's say I want to change this color to yellow. So you can make it as fun as you want in your class. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. Everyone is literally in this section. Okay. And then another part that is super, super cool, as Lauren was saying before, is the stickers. So in this part, as you already know, you have this possibility in the toolbar to add any sticker that you want. So let's try to do it together. And we're going to add some stickers over here. So in this case, you go find your favorite sticker. Amazing. Beautiful. I love that we continue with sessions in here. And these stickers are super cool because if you want to maybe say, this idea is fabulous, this idea is magic or perfect, your team members are going to feel more connected with you and with the workshop or the activity or lecture that you are doing. So I'm seeing all those beautiful stickers. Beautiful. Amazing. Okay. So now that you all know how to use FigJam, as we can see here, we're going to jump actually in our workshop. Well, the workshop started already. But to start my workshop, I would like to ask you a question. So what is one thing that makes a good story? I say the best story is like a telenovela, a well-told tale about something that the audience feels and is relevant or significant. So it's a little bit of drama, as we will say in Colombia. So for this activity, what you're going to do is to press the letter S and grab what is one thing that you think it makes a good story. Okay, take your time. So I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute. And I'm going to put some tones. Amazing, everyone. I see a lot of responses, conflicts, authentic. A really good story has to be authentic. It has emotions, a background, really cool characters, empathy, a surprise, when it's a little bit of tragedy. So many good responses. And this is super important when you are running a workshop, because when we think about a lecture, a class, a workshop, it's very essential that we think that we are going to tell a story. So today I'm telling you a story of how to run a workshop. And for this, it's very important that it has to be clear. So the most important thing that you need to start thinking before jumping into create anything that you are going to share with your class, with your teams, with your colleagues, is that the first thing is, what do you want to share? You always have to ask these questions in order to create a really good structure of what you want. What do I want my audience to learn? So for example, today I want you to fall in love with FigJam, to be part of like this amazing community of design too. And how can I make it fun? That is something that it shouldn't be in there, especially in this digital world where we cannot connect to each other. It's so important that we can make it fun so people are not worried and kind of sad. Okay, so when we think about a story, it's all about having a really good structure. So when you are running presentations, workshops, lectures, it's very important that you have a beginning, a middle, and end. And this is part of like a story, right? So in the beginning, you have to always have an agenda and an intro to the topic, so your audience understand what exactly you are going to be teaching and what they're expecting. When the audience know what they're expecting, they're going to be ready and aware that it's going to be amazing. So in this case, it's super important that you have an agenda. In the middle, as a good story, you have to start asking some questions, explain the topic, practicing while you are learning, which is so important, and that's what we were trying to do in just a little bit, because it's super important that people are practicing what you are saying, okay? And then it's also super important to have a little break, because it's very, very important that in the middle, if you're running 2 hours workshop, you can actually give a space to people to just slow down, okay? And at the end, it's super, super key to have that Q&A and questions or a closing, because that is where all the magic happens, and you really want that the user at the end feels connected, and that the user also learn everything that you are teaching, okay? And then here are some little tips that I want you to learn today when you are running a workshop, a lecture, or a class. The first thing is that it has to be interactive. So in here, we're doing it super interactive, so much that the file got deleted at some point. We're also going to be asking questions to our audience. So how are you feeling? What are you learning so far? Do you have any questions? Tell me your thoughts. So in this case, it's super important that you give a space that the audience feel connected with you, that you can also listen more, and also make them work with teams, because when you're working together, and I wish you can see everyone's face and listen to you, then there is a connection, and that is what we're always looking as a human beings. All right? So I really hope next time you have these little tips. Okay? So here is a little just activity that is super, super helpful to help teams to brainstorm, classrooms, and more. It's called the Crazy Ace. And in this one, basically what you do is have 8 minutes when everyone can actually do a little bit of a brainstorm and thinking one idea for 1 minute, okay? So for this case, the only thing that you're going to do is start creating a little activity in here, okay? So for this, what we want and we hope is that you're going to be creating different ideas of how to make a logo for an ice cream shop, okay? So let's see here. I think my file is also having again some issues. So I apologize about that. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so for this, what you're going to do is in 1 minute, you're going to grab one of these little agenditas. You're going to make a little line in the center, and just because we're running out of time and all the logistics, what you're going to do is just do a little illustration that is going to make that amazing logo for that future ice cream, okay? So I'm going to give you 1 minute to do it. Let's see. Perfect. And I'm going to set the timer. Amazing. And I will put some tunes again. Beautiful. So just try to try in one of these. So take 1 minute to do a little doodle of what you think a good logo can be. Okay, so make sure you use the market. Beautiful. Okay, now let's jump to the other part of the doodle section. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, now you have 1 more minute to create the last one.
Hey, Lily, it looks like we're actually running a little ahead, so we can give people a little bit more time to work on their ice cream.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So the main important part of this is that you can actually learn how to use FigJam to brainstorm as a team, and it's super, super key while you are creating talk, okay? Okay, another question that I'm going to ask you just to continue with the workshop is, what has to be a must-have when we are running an activity? So just take 1 minute to respond in these little stickers by clicking the letter S. And what you're going to do is just respond, what is one little thing that it has to be? So it has to be fun, It has to be clear. Just click the letter S and write your answer. Right? Amazing, everyone. Engaging, allow everyone to participate, made relevant for the
Hey,
student.
Lily, just wanted to give you a heads up that we're about halfway through, so you still got 20 or 30 minutes left.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Okay. Amazing. I'm seeing more responses, fun, exciting activities, make it simple, interactive, and engaging, accessible, muy bien, relevant, connection to prior knowledge, yes. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your thoughts. Okay. So when running a workshop, as you all were saying before, and if you follow me here, it has to be short and simple. You have to always think about your audience, and you want them to feel that their opinion is super, super important. And every single input that they're saying is super key in order to build the workshop. The most important thing is that you always have to do and give clear instructions, and you have to stick to the schedule as well. And then at the end, it's super, super important that you ask for feedback, because at the end, you want to learn more and you want to understand if your audience were happy with everything that you were telling, okay? When running a workshop, it's super important to prepare. And for this workshop, we have been preparing so much in different feedback and just understanding how we want to make you happy today, and also super easy for you to understand. So for this part, when we're talking about prepare, you have to go back always to that story that I was telling you before. You want to understand they're going to kick off your event with the agenda that I was telling you, with a topic that is going to be clear. And then also you want to add those little activities that we were just trying to just in a little bit. And it's super key that when you're closing, everyone is happy and everyone can share their thoughts as well. Okay? Because at the end, what matters the most is the collaboration. Collaboration is key in teams, and FigJam, as you can see, and we have been learning today, makes it super interactive, and you are allowed just to connect with your audience. So in this case, you can comment, you can add all those beautiful stickers, you can add also the sections if you want, and more of those amazing tools that you have in this sidebar and also above, okay? Amazing team. So for this part, I want you to reflect in one thing that you have the most successful, that one time that you have the most fun in a workshop. So in this case, I had an amazing experience when my workshop was super interactive, when I connected with my teams, and also when I saw all the presentations from each person. So for this session, what you're going to do is just cry and just reflect, because reflecting is super, super important in order to grow. So click the letter S, as I was mentioned before, to grab a sticky note and grab it. You don't have to make your sticky note huge, because I can follow you and I can zoom in. That is the beauty of FigJam. So don't worry about it. You can just keep it small. I'm going to be seeing your answer. And for that, I'm going to give you a little 1 minute in there, okay? Clear outcomes and team, perfect. Beautiful, okay. I'm going to let you write your responses.
Yeah, Lily, let's give everyone, like 2.5 minutes. We got a little extra time, so I'd love to see these ideas. What do people have to say?
Amazing, yes, of course. Let's do it. So if you finish already, you can just go and use those little stickers just to reaffirm all people's answer, okay? Beautiful responses, everyone. Amazing, everyone. I hope you are all reading some of the answers because there's so much knowledge over there, okay? Okay, a few more seconds until we continue. Beautiful, great feedback from the chat. Thank you, thank you. That is going to make us better. Okay. Practical classroom, application, yes, say something, honor the teacher's time and be enthusiastic. All right. All right. Thank you everyone to respond to your question, to this question. I'm going to read some of the answers and let's see. Okay, we have clear in here. This is big. So let's just read it. Practical knowledge and explanation is key and core to run the workshops. Simplicity is an elemental key as well, and that is just part of any design work. Thank you so much for responding. When people understand about the process and know the artifacts, I love that. Love this question. I love reading surveys from participants that are filled with joy, and I know that they were highlighting the engagement and it was what was relevant. Thank you so much for that. Best workshops was one where I got identified to learn more and appreciate my other team members 100%. Students were always focused, yes. After the workshop, we have homework to practice our knowledge. So yes, that is super, super key as well. When you are running out of time, everybody's finishing the last minute. Okay, so must to have next time. Okay, when I was able to practice the skills right away, so I wouldn't forget. Yes, clear outcomes and team feels galvanized. Okay. Sharing of energy between the workshops, leader and participants. Yes, super, super important. Collaboration is key. I love that. A successful workshop is led with a small group, an opportunity to be vulnerable and make valuable connections with colleagues. Yes, love that. And starting with an icebreaker, having everyone to work together and collaborate. Okay, you're seeing so many amazing responses, and it's super, super important that you are always empathetic with the person that is teaching and with the people that are just being part of the workshop or lecture or class that you are doing. One more, when I come away with new friends and new perspectives, super, super key. Okay, thank you everyone for responding. So now that we have been going through a lot of things in this little workshop, the first one is just to tell a story, to remember that it's super important to have a clear message It's very, very important that collaboration is part of your upcoming workshops, that is part of your lectures as well, because that is just going to set you to success. People are going to be able to understand. And this question is super, super key. And I wanted to close up basically with this one, because it's a time for us to reflect that whenever you're going to be teaching a class, a workshop, a lecture, it's super important that you see all these little things that makes us happy and connect us, even though when we are from the far away. So when I saw smiling faces of energizing people, that is something that also makes me happy. And it's so important that when you're thinking how you're going to tell the story and how you're going to be running a workshop, you always keep that in mind, so then people feel connected and are part of an amazing part of the learning process. That is key. And when you are teaching, it's always very important that people are like little sponges. They're going to come and absorb all that knowledge that maybe they didn't know, or maybe it was just a recap, but they feel very connected. Okay. So for this part, I wanted to ask you if you remember about this photo. And if you remember, just put a little emoji sticker in here. Perfect, yes. So this is the universe, and NASA just was publishing this like a few months ago. And it's so beautiful just to think what is in space. And I would love to close by creating something magical together. So imagine we want to create this in here. So for that, what you're going to do is just grab the marker by clicking the letter M and start doodling some little stars, or you can also just copy and paste some of these little icons as well. Okay, so just take your time to doodle and create that universe. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and I'm going to turn on the music again so you have some inspiration. Okay. So we are building a universe.
Wow, these drawings are so good. Let's give everyone an extra minute. Look at this. Oh my gosh.
I love that. Super, super beautiful. You can also change the color of your marker, remember? Wow, so cute. Wow, this is incredible. A dog. Maybe we need a little hat over here. Amazing. right. Woo. All right. Beautiful. Amazing work, everyone. And we have been creating a universe, and this is so beautiful. What do you think, Lauren and Miggy?
I think this is amazing. This is fantastic.
This was how we envisioned when we were trying to practice this. This is incredible. Whoever draw this, I want to interview you for Soluros. Beautiful, beautiful work. Oh, El Principito. So cute. Amazing, everyone. So something that I wanted to share just to conclude the workshop is what we have been learning today is that alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. And in this case, we were just building through the whole entire experience of how like to work together and create a workshop that is going to help you to connect with more people and to listen to other people's ideas. And that is why FigJam makes it so easy for all of you. So I will always try to think about this when I'm teaching my classes. That is not about me, it's more about what I'm trying to share with everyone. So I can see smiley faces at the end and comments that is going to help us to grow more and to have an amazing experience. So I will say that always remember this beautiful quote that alone we can do so little, but when we are together, we can do so much. So it's always important collaboration, and you can literally create a universe if you want. So thank you everyone for your time. Gracias por tu tiempo. You can find me in Lilita Duros, Lilibeth Bustos Linares in my LinkedIn. Thank you so much. And I really hope you learned something, you recap from this workshop. It was a very interesting workshop with all the different technical things, but I think we nailed it.